This is Ryan Abraham, Dan Weber, USCFootball.com instant analysis from Sunday practice here on Howard Jones, or I guess just outside of Howard Jones Field, right outside the new John McKay Center.
Sort of the press room for the newspapers.
Yeah.
Right here. We're standing in the press room annex to Howard Jones Field.
This is where Lane Kiffin normally speaks and stuff. So, Dan, I guess a lot of the focus today, you got to talk to offensive players, was how do they get this team get the passing game going? It just hasn't been going, especially watching people were talking about Geno Smith and his performance. How does USC get the passing game going again?
Well, I'll give you an exact quote from Lane. I don't know how you do that. Talked to Marquise. He just said, "Man, those numbers are outrageous." He said, I think Barkley kind of said, "You know what? The numbers I'm thinking about are points on the scoreboard." He said, "That's the numbers I'd like to see us, not get this, scores where we've got a chance to, score maybe 3 more touchdowns against Cal, that kind of thing." So I think they've all gotten their kind of own version of, but everybody was paying attention to that 70-63 game. I think Marquise is like, how are those guys that wide open?
Yeah.
And now we also talked about, Lane mentioned this. He said Utah showed some man-to-man against Arizona, which gave up some big pass play against Arizona State, which gave up some big pass plays. I guess I'd be interested to see if they're going to play us man. We asked Marquise, how much man have you seen? He said maybe a couple of times, maybe a couple of times a game, maybe. So, but he said if we keep running the ball, they might have to, do that. And he said, I think we're really going to come out and run the ball, and we'll see. And now, of course, Utah's got as good a front four, right, and as good a single guy, player in the country. So we'll see how that'd be an interesting how that's going to go.
Yeah, we've seen a tough front seven in Stanford give USC some troubles there. I think a lot of the talk too is about Matt Barkley and Robert Woods. You got to talk to those guys. Some of the connection there doesn't seem to be, maybe it's a little rusty, it doesn't seem to be like what it was last year. And
Robert kind of doesn't agree with that, and he said, no, I'm not taking any more time off. I'm doing kind of the same thing that Ronald Johnson did. And he said, Coach lets me kind of take off on Thursdays a little bit to get my legs back. And he said, so I don't think that's it, and I'm not feeling rusty or anything. One of the things that there was pretty much agreement on, it wasn't so much with the pass people, was the offensive linemen seemed to agree. First 3 games of the year, they weren't physical enough. They didn't come out and punch people in the mouth. And they're not exactly sure what happened, that attitude, where it went, but they said they've learned, they understand now. They flat out say, we really do. We have to come out and be very physical and really, attack people at the line of scrimmage. And we said, we think we did that at Cal, and we just have to keep doing that. And why that didn't happen the first 3 games, they're not sure. But it didn't, and they all kind of agree.
Sticking with the offensive line theme, we talked to Matt Barkley a little bit about what it was like, if he's more comfortable with Khalid Holmes or Abe Markowitz there, et cetera. Maybe you can share what he had to say.
Well, I think he just, he went to high school with Khalid. Khaled's his roommate. They're both communication, majors in Khalid in grad school. But he talked about that Abe Markowitz, who's been handling a lot of the duties, has come a long way and is ready to go either position out there. Marcus Martin is real happy with that. He's back, telling everybody I'm 100%. And the time that I've had here to get back and get ready has really been good for me. So and we did talk to Khalid a little bit. Said wouldn't say it's a game time decision or what it is. Just didn't know.
Yeah.
But we'll see how that goes. But I think they're, in good shape with Abe Markowitz. And Matt seemed to feel the fact that they've gotten to work a good bit the last few weeks together means a lot.
Yeah, Matt definitely said that he felt more comfortable with Khalid Holmes, but is becoming more comfortable with Abe Markowitz, who could be a key player on this USC offensive line for the rest of the season. And
I know Andy Staples from Sports Illustrated was here, and he asked him, are you more comfortable with center or guard? Center, you get to talk. Guard, you don't. And Abe had a great answer, and this is why you like having fifth-year, grad students. Abe said, I'm more comfortable playing. He said, I just get me out there. I want to play. Yeah. So he got his first start against Cal, and we're here, and he graded out at like 97%. I mean, just had a fabulous game, for your first game as a starter. So, it'll be interesting. it's a big test for up front, and it's obviously the game that Utah's been pointing for a whole year.
All right. Well, this has been Dan Weber, Ryan Abraham, USCFootball.com, Instant Analysis. USC will be back on the field Monday and Tuesday heading into that Thursday game against Utah. You can check out USCFootball.com for more.